Hey guys, today we're talking about whiskey.
What's up guys, welcome back to Gent Lounge. I'm George, this is Blake. Today we are talking about 5 huge whiskey misconceptions that people tend to believe when you're first getting into whiskey, but once you've been drinking whiskey for a good while, you start to realize that these things really don't mean much. So the first huge misconception on the list is that older whiskey is better whiskey. Just because something says it's 25 years old does not make it better than something that is 4 years old. Because I will tell you, the reason that Scotch is aged for so long and old Scotch is so expensive is because it takes them 25 years to make a phenomenal whiskey, because they use second fill bourbon casks and they have to sit in the cold weather in Scotland where the heat doesn't penetrate as much as it does in Kentucky, so it takes forever to get flavor into the barrel. That's why older Scotch is so coveted, because it takes a while to get there.
Exactly. I think they also just charge more because of the angel share. Since they're losing more by aging it, they automatically assume it's better because it's older.
Right. And don't get me wrong guys, older whiskey is very good as well, but just don't judge a bottle by its label. Just because it says 25 years old does not mean it is better than something else. Alright guys, up next on the list is people tend to think that darker whiskey is better whiskey. And that is not necessarily true. Darker really doesn't have much to do with flavor. There's really light whiskeys that taste really good. There's really dark whiskeys that taste really good. Some of the less expensive brands add a caramel color to make it look darker, so you're not even getting an accurate representation of what it looks like out of the barrel. So color is not the best way to judge a whiskey.
Yeah, chances are that filler is just going to have negative effects to make you have a hangover the next day.
Yes.
So you want to stay away from whiskeys like that, the less expensive, the ones that are added flavor, added color, added sugar. Just
don't need it. All right, guys. Number 3 on the list is that the higher the proof, the harsher the whiskey, the more of a man you are drinking it. And that is not necessarily true. But I will say, yes, if you're drinking a terrible 100 proof whiskey, it's probably going to burn like a motherfucker. I've had very, very, very smooth whiskeys that were 120 proof.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, you could sip them. If you sipped in a blind taste test, you would never know the difference. I've also had Everclear, which is not a whiskey, but is ridiculously strong and terrible. So, you know, just because it's a high proof doesn't make it bad. But if you're buying a high proof at a lower price point, be a little bit weary. All right, guys, and up next on the list, people think that more expensive whiskey is better whiskey.
That's wrong.
And that is not true. Granted, there are really, really good expensive whiskeys. There are also really, really good inexpensive whiskeys. So, for example, this bottle right here, 1792, small batch bourbon. It's a high rye bourbon. If you know anything about me, guys, I am a rye guy. I like the spice. So this bottle is 27 bucks on average, and it tastes, if you did a blind taste testing, I would probably pay 50 plus for it.
Easily do.
So, you know, expensive whiskey isn't necessarily better whiskey. These guys do a lot of interesting stuff as well. They have a full line of, you know, kind of different mash bills and things they've played with. So, you know, definitely an interesting brand to watch, but we will have a link to them down below. So if you see this in the store, definitely give this guy a shot. And, you know, last but not least on the list, people think, you know, you can't add ice or water to good whiskey because it ruins the whiskey. And I'm going to tell you guys, the only right way to drink whiskey is the way you like it.
Exactly.
So if you want to add Coca-Cola, ice, water, chocolate milk, I don't care. If you like it that way, that is the right way to drink whiskey. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't feel like less of a man because you don't like Lagavulin neat. Like, you know, there are some whiskeys that taste really, really good with Coke. Like if you add half an ounce of Coke to 2 ounces of whiskey, it changes the flavor, especially if you find like a really, really smoky one.
Yeah. Oh,
sometimes you need a little bit of sweetness to level some stuff out. So, you know, guys, drinking whiskey is supposed to be fun. Don't stress out about it. Drink what you like, drink it how you like it, and, you know, that's all I can say.
Fuck, you said a lot, dude.
All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up our 5 huge whiskey misconceptions. Remember, guys, just drink what you like, drink what you can afford, and drink what tastes good to you. Once again, thanks to 1792 for sponsoring this video. If you guys have not checked them out or heard of them, we'll have a link to them down below. They've won tons of gold medals in whiskey, and it's a very, very reasonable price point for a great whiskey. So check them out, please. We'd really appreciate it. And once again, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button right now and give this video a thumbs up and leave us a comment on your favorite whiskey down below.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, boom.